So traders, I wanted to, I thought I'd do this video, as I'm going for a walk, as I normally do. Isn't this gorgeous? See this place here? Look at that. Isn't that just gorgeous? It's obviously where I live. I live just up the road from here. And I like to go for a walk around here because it's actually really nice. I was actually speaking with my inner circle members today, and we're talking a lot about trading and success in trading, and and obviously we enter the markets, right, because we want to start to do really well from trading, right? And one of the things that I was talking to him about the actual trading thing, and the only thing that's really helped me, I guess, get on the positive note and actually do really well from trading throughout the year is it's just having a good sort of trading setup. One of the things that I've now come to realize is that as long as I have a really good trading setup, which I do, and a good trading plan, as long as I can stick to that through the 12-month period, I'm going to have a good year. I'm going to have a really successful, positive year. Most people, they actually don't have successful years. A lot of people are losing a lot of money right now. In fact, I've spoken to a lot of people that, over the course of a few weeks, people that I've spoken to who have applied for my Inner Circle program, has to be well over $1 million worth of lost money that they've lost, and now they're coming to me and asking for my help. That's why they're applying for my coaching. Like, Joe, I've lost the money. So I was thinking about this from a perspective of, I was talking to my Inner Circle members today, and something that I've learned myself time and time again is that the more time I can just follow my plan, the more times I'm going to do really well. And the times when I'm just getting into these other trades where, the shiny object trade, or I think this is going to happen, or I hope this is going to happen, or, there's a quick tip there, or something like that. And it's never a good idea, right? And really the secret to success in trading is just this. I have a really powerful trading setup that I follow. I have a few variations of the setup that I follow, but it's mainly the type of setup that I follow. And every day when I open up the charts, if I can just look for that trading setup, right? If I can just look for that trading setup, and be okay with turning up every day and not taking a trade every day. As long as I can do that, I'm going to have a really good year this year. And one thing that I've come to realize when it comes down to, there we go. One thing I've come down to realize is that that's a secret to success in trading, right? If you look at an umbrella, and any of you guys can do really, really well. If you're struggling this year, I promise you, you're struggling because you're not following consistently a plan. Every day when I get up, I'm trading the same setups. It's the same thing. Now, the hard part is understanding the nature of how the markets work, right? Meaning that your setup, whatever you trade, right? There we go. Right. The setup that you trade, it's not going to turn up every day, right? And that needing to want to trade every day, that's one of the hardest things, right? One of the hardest things of trading the markets. And I was talking to him about So I was talking with my Inner Circle members today, and just really trying to give them an umbrella of, like, throughout the year, right, we have a trading setup, right? And throughout the year, we're going to find this trading setup that appears in the markets. And it's our job just to find it. And so the secret to success in the markets, the secret to, say, getting ahead in the markets, it's just that. Like, if there was one really high quality, powerful setup that you knew that most of the time it's going to generate a profit. Actually, let me rephrase that. Because this is what I have. Do you know what to look for in a really high quality, powerful setup? That when it appears in the market, it's not only likely to make a profit, but it has a really high probability of having a big move. So that means if you get into the charts today and you're using a daily chart to get in there, you're likely to be holding on to that for a whole month, jumping on a big profit for a whole month. See, that's the thing that I always look for. It's this because it's the same setup. It's nothing new. And the more that I can just sort of stop myself from getting into these other stuff, right? And well, I'm human, and it happens there, right? But especially this year alone, right? Especially this year, this year has been one of those. There we go. Right, especially this year, right? This year has been one of those years where you've had to require a lot more patience, right? Because the volatility and everything that's been happening in the market, it's really caused a lot of uncertainty and a lot of doubt and so on and so forth. And for me personally, there hasn't been a lot of good setups this year. Now, there has been nice setups this year, right? But the thing is that because of the volatility, there hasn't been a lot of setups. But because I've been patient, right? Because I've been patient within my trading, I'm very positive this year. I'm very, very nicely green this year. Now again, I haven't taken a lot of trades, but I'm very nicely green this year. And the reason why that's so important, because it's a good platform to have an extraordinary quality year for the rest of this year. And so that's always been the thing for me and one thing I always found myself by trading is every time I traded the markets and I got in, every time I thought I was going to make a lot of money, it never happened, right? I always lost a lot of money. Every time I got into like a tip or an idea, or I could never get any traction, especially when I was trading a few different trading systems and ideas and tips and methods, and and I was all over the place. I couldn't really get any traction. And over the years now, over the last 20 years now, what's helped me now be a lot more on the positive side, I'm trying to be humble here, I'm doing really well. I'm if you go to getjohnshelp.com, get John's Help, although there should be that second link in the description there, that's my coaching program. You'll be able to see my equity curve for all of 2024. I'm doing really well as a trader, and I'm having a really good year this year. But I started to realize that for my longevity in the markets comes down to just a simple thing of, firstly, what am I looking for in a high quality setup? And secondly, am I prepared to wait for that setup as long as it takes? Now for me, that's the foundation to my success. That's it. That is it. And so that means if you turn up to the markets and for a whole week that setup doesn't appear in the markets, well, you can't trade that week. If you can handle what I said there, two things. Firstly, what does a high quality setup look like? Now I take that to another level, which helped me. It's like today, I got into a trade today. And this trade is one of those trades that has a massive high probability of generating a big profit. It has the potential of running on for 2, 3, 4 weeks. The last time I had a trade like this, I did a 6 weeks profit, and we're talking 400% return because I trade options over these markets. And that actually appeared in the market today. But it's the exact same setup, right? It's not an idea or a tip or a hope or anything like that. It's just the system it's the pattern that I look for, right? It's the exact same thing. And it just appeared in the market today. Now I have scans when it comes to my coaching program. I have scans that help me. The scans actually found the trades for me. I scanned the top 1,000 stocks in America. And there was a few stocks that appeared on my scan, and one of those stocks was the trade. And that's the reason why, for me personally, I don't trade a lot of hours. I used to trade a lot of hours, meaning looking at the 1 minute charts and 2 minute charts and the 5 minute charts. And man, that was hard, man. One, I didn't have a life. Two, I was always getting tired. Three, yes, there's patience there, right? But then you got to be, intraday trading and day trading, you sit in front of the screen for hours and hours and hours looking at those smaller time frame charts, is the hardest form of trading out there. It really is. Like your discipline, your consistency, your patience, You have to really excel, right? And I did well out of that. I make so much more money now by only trading an hour a day. Now, when I say I trade an hour a day, I'm looking at the markets today to get into a trade. And my idea is to hold on for a nice profit over the course of a few days, right? And especially with options, you can pick up a nice 50, maybe 100% return in a week. Or there might be a trade like I got into today that has the potential of running on for, 2, 3, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, and could do 4, 500% return maybe, because there's options. I'm trading options over this as well too. I've had trades that's lasted a few months that's done over 1,000% return. And once I started to realize this dynamic, that's the only reason why, like, I now have a trading style that fits my overall ideal lifestyle. And that means the last hour of the US market, I'm opening up, I'm running my scans, I'm seeing what the scans are bringing back, I'm checking all the markets, I'm looking at the markets, and I'm getting in today. And then I'll come back tomorrow and I'll check the positions, and then I check the positions and I look for new positions, and I have all my trading done in an hour, let the profits run, cut the losses short. And then by doing that, not only one, do I actually make a lot of money because I'm not sitting in front of the screen all day. Secondly, I make a lot more money because I'm getting into trades where I'm actually holding on to it and actually holding on for, sometimes 2, 3, 4 weeks, and letting the profit build up, having big profits and smaller losses. By doing that, I'm making a lot more money, but then I've also found a lot more freedom within that approach, right? And so, instead of me trying to jump on a 5-minute trade and getting in and getting out and getting in and getting out, I like I did today, right? Get in today, and then I'm probably going to hold it for 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks. And hopefully that's one of these trades that does that, and I'm going to make a lot of money on this trade. And when you start to look at those numbers, guys, if you're doing like a $20,000 position and you start to pick up 400-500% return, that's well over 6 figures in a month, right? Or a month and a half, right? Or then you start to increase your position sizes even more if you want to go from there. But I'm trying to share with you the possibilities of what stops people out there. And then what happens is then you start to create a freedom where you can start to take care of the other things, right? Like for me and my kids, my kids are getting older right now, and I'm trying to spend a lot more time with them. It gives me a lot more freedom to go to the gym, and and then obviously work on my other passions. That's one of the reasons why I do my coaching and so on and so forth, because I try to really sort of coach them down that path as well too. And my idea about what I do with these YouTube videos for you guys. And so the secret to success in trading has come down to a lot of these things from here. And it's the opposite to what I've done. Again, I've been doing this for 20 years now. I used to intraday trade, and it's the opposite, right? The more I traded intraday, the more frustrations, the more mistakes I made, the more money I lost. It was just horrible. Not only that, but then I'd get overweight because I wasn't exercising, taking care of myself. I was stressing all the time. I was fighting with my wife. I wasn't spending time with my kids, and I was broke. And then I get sick because it's a downward spiral there, right? Downward spiral. And that's where, when it comes to my coaching program, my idea is about to set you up with a trading style to fit an ideal lifestyle. And that means only looking at the markets for an hour a day, right? And what that simply means is, for me, like for example, once again, getting into a trade, and my idea is to hold on to this for 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks and jump on a really big profit as the profit accumulates over that time, instead of getting in, getting out. So I'm looking at really big profits, and when I do have losses, obviously the losses are a lot smaller. And once I started to do this, everything started to slowly click for me to where my trading plan is successful now because of that there. I look at the market an hour per day. I know exactly the type of setup I'm looking for. When it appears, I take the trade. So I do have losses. Most of them are profits, and and a good chunk of those are going to be big profits, depending on. I have what's called a short-term trade, where I'm in and out within a couple of days. They generally do about 50 to 80% return within, say, 2 to 5 days. And then I have the longer-term trades where I'm holding on to it, and it has the potential of having a big mover for 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks, and they have the potential of making multiple 100% return, because again, I'm utilizing options. And so this is what my journey has come down to right now. And by me doing this, not only do I make a lot of money from trading, but it's given me a freedom and an ideal lifestyle of doing this here, right? And so therefore, the hard thing about trading and trading in general, whether it's intraday trading like 5-minute charts or even the trading that I do, is just your ability to be patient, right? Like sometimes there's many weeks, sometimes there is a whole month with no trades from me. But if you can be patient through that time where the market's not producing any good trades, what happens if you took no trades for a whole month and then the very next month you made 40 grand or you made 50 grand? You know what I mean? Like that's the thinking we should be thinking. How do you make 6 figures a year? It's that sort of, if you can be patient through the quiet times, one, know exactly what you're looking for, and two, be patient with that, you can actually do really, really well. And three, if you can start to work on an actual trading style to fit an ideal lifestyle, then slowly and surely things can click into play there. And obviously that's the reason why I got a coaching program, guys. Again, link in the description if you want to apply for that. But my whole coaching program is to help you understand the setups that's likely to do really well. What does a short-term trade look like? We're in and out within a couple of days. What does a longer-term trade look like? Running my scans as well too. You get my scans, and I'm there every single week coaching you and helping you and sharing my trades and so on and so forth. And that's the reason why I actually do my coaching program, to show you after 20 years, how do I actually continue to do this. And just like today, I had an hour and a half coaching session with my inner circle members. And this is some of the stuff I was teaching them with them there. That if I can just find a powerful setup, and every day I'm going to the market, look for that setup, I don't have to worry about anything else. There's no thinking or hoping or fearful or Trump or inflation or tariffs or anything like that, because I just don't care. I really don't care. Now we can report on that, right? But all that sort of stuff doesn't matter. Does it meet my trading setup, yes or no? And if it does, I just take the trade. Like today, I took the trade. I have no idea about the company. I just know the trading setup, when I see it in the market, has a high probability of generating a nice profit. So guys, I hope this really sort of gives you some guidance around my 20 years of sort of condensing now my 20 years of experience around these markets, and to show you that if you can start to set these things up in place over the next 6 months, over the next 1 year, over the next 2 years, your progress can be enormous if we can start to work on these little things that I've talked about today. Take care, guys.